Alright, today let's talk about turkeys. I want to show you a really fun project, not very difficult to make, and you can make several at one time in case you're making them for family or for a craft fair. Either way, they go pretty quickly. You start out with just a basic gourd. And the first thing that you're going to want to do with the gourd is locate how it sits and glue it onto a spring. And I got these springs from Leah at Blue Whale Arts, but I'll leave you some links to that and to maybe another source as well. Although I saw just the other day on her website, she's still got plenty. And some of the tutorials that you see will have you using pliers to change the shape of these, and also they'll have you cutting them and inserting them into the gourd. I figured out an easier way was simply to glue them on right here and then paint over the glue, and that just was a little bit safer for me. The next thing I did probably would be to look through all my shards and my extra pieces of gourds and figure out if I have any, just some flat pieces that would work pretty well for wings and then also for a tail. And I'll show you another tail option. What this part is you can probably tell which part of a gourd this is. Actually, if I turn it like this, you'll be able to tell. That's kind of the neck of a gourd that I had cut off. I have used the whole bowl for something else, and this is just the neck. And so I saw that, and I thought, oh, I can just cut that in a little bit of a semicircle right there and simply glue it on. And I did glue it, and I did cover that glue with paint and then paint. And these are just some flat pieces. And I know that this is not anatomically correct at all for a turkey. I know that their wings do not go forward, but sometimes, like I've said in other videos, just to have something be kind of cute or to make it be a little bit more human-like, you'll take a little bit of liberties and make it a little bit different just in order to get your point across. So these turkeys' wings go forward and they hold a little pumpkin, and most of the pumpkins have a little green, I don't know what you would call, like the little tendrils that come off the top of a pumpkin. I didn't do any little leaves. That would have been a bit much, I suppose, but just some fun, just a fun little accent. It seemed like just their wings, there wasn't enough that they needed to hold something, so that's what they're holding. Now, for this, for the pilgrims, I'm not sure what the technical term for that is, but for the collar, it's simply a circle of cardboard cut out, and actually it was, I think I used file folders, a circle of file folder, that kind of like cardstock weight cut out with the circle cut out in the middle, and I simply brought the two edges together. Just snipped it, brought the two edges together, and punched two little holes. And I have a hole punch with a teeny tiny holes. So I just punched two tiny little holes, and then I didn't happen to have exactly the right width ribbon, so I took some ribbon and I just cut it into 3 strips and used the strips on the different parts. So the collars were really easy. I did paint them with some white and then later on antiqued them a little bit. The hats were equally easy. The top part is simply a circle, just a whole cut out circle, and on the top of the circle, this is just a rectangle, and you take the rectangle, curve it around, and I can probably find the seam on this one. Actually, the seam on this one's right here. There's the seam, and I hid the seam a little bit with just some fun. These are bits of silk leaves that I used to kind of, they're to look like leaves or look like feathers, but this cylinder is just glued on top of this circle, and then the top circle, I cut them a little bit large and I put them on there, and then you can actually trim around the edges with scissors once you've glued it in, and you get a pretty nice edge. You could even file it if you needed. Everything painted. Actually it took me a couple coats of paint to get it right. And then once the hats were constructed, then on where you can see that the hat kind of fits over, this is just a little like an egg cord, where the hat fits over it, I actually cut a circle in there so that the hat could come down like it should. The top bit of like the hat band is just some more of that ribbon that I cut into thirds, and then I actually did take the time to make a gold buckle, and those were also made out of cardstock. I simply cut them out and then threaded the ribbon through there and glued it all together so it would stay put, and it's just to have a cute little pilgriming accent. Now the head is an egg gourd, and you can see a bit of dowel here, of course, you know, turkeys have kind of long, funny necks, and the dowels, I actually have them planted down toward the bottom. They go all the way in and are glued at the bottom and in the top of the gourd so that this won't ever wiggle. If somebody drops it, you would break other parts off, but at least this part won't wiggle. The cheeks are quickwood, the nose is quickwood, and the wattle, and I know the wattle looks nothing like a turkey in real life because I've seen real life turkeys, and also I looked up a lot of pictures close up online. The wattle you can either do from hot glue, or you can make it out of quickwood, and then you'll just be painting it a lot. And you notice that the beaks on turkeys go down. They don't stick out like a bird, like a blue jay or anything like that. They definitely go down. And turkeys don't really have cheeks, but it looked kind of cute to have cheeks with a little bit of rouge on them. And I also, the eyes are quickwood, just a small oval applied, and then a little bit of an eyebrow just to make sure that the face is kind of framed just like ours, and then that cute little wattle, and that just gives it a whole little personality. The eyes took several coats because first it was white and then black and then green and then black and then white and so on. But you can see on this one, you can see exactly how I did the eyes. And afterward, once I was, oh, here's this cat. Oh no, no, you've already, this is Jasper, he's already knocked some of the turkeys over. So the whole construction of the face goes pretty quickly. What? No, you're not knocking anything over this time. No, out of here. I guess you're apologizing. So on the face, you've got just a couple elements here, and you notice that although the wattle is red and the nose is a yellowish orange and the eyes are black and the wattle's red, that it's a little bit antiqued. And I didn't buy any special antiquing. I just used a little bit of the brown I was already using, and I put it on kind of like a crumpled up bit of extra paper. It might have been some, it could have been a receipt if that's what was lying close to me. It might have been a piece of paper towel, and I just dabbed. And I just dabbed because the Pilgrims colors just looked too white. I mean, they were stark white, and the face was just really bright, and I wanted them to look a little more antique-y, and I dabbed a little bit here and there everywhere else on the gourd as well. So those are the main points. The pumpkins were a balled up bit of paper with some quickwood over them, and then for these little tendrils I had stripped, I think it was some extra telephone, like an old telephone line or something like that. I stripped it out, got that out of there, and then I used not a dowel, but a really small, like a toothpick, and I just wound it around it and then pulled the toothpick out and was left with the little curl. And sometimes these little, just the little touches, the little there, little touches here, these are the things that make it look a little bit human, a little bit cute, and very giftable or very sellable. These 5 took a couple days. They didn't take all that long because I didn't have to be horribly precise with the wings. I did all the painting of the wings at the same time. I had turkey feathers that I found here in the yard to give me the idea for these. They've got veins, and then they've got ribs and a little bit of color and some pointy bits on the ends, just to give the suggestion. Same with the tails, just lots of ribs and pointy bits and attached like that. So the project goes pretty quickly. The best part, I think, was realizing that I can make hats. That was just the coolest thing, to realize that anytime I need a hat, I don't need to order one, I don't need to wait, I can make it myself. You can make any style hat you like with paper and just mold it, and aren't those cute? So I hope you give this a try. I hope you enjoy the process, and the working with the springs is just so much fun because, of course, you know, if you have any children at the table, they like to do this with it and knock it around a little bit. They're just a super fun project. They make a pretty big presentation. I've got one that's not on a spring because he was so big. He would really dominate a large table, and some of the others would go great with seasonal flowers on either side. This is something you can put out this time of year and leave it up for quite a while. They don't have to be just used for the Thanksgiving table. if you like the project, let me know. And if you want to see some more, I think the next one I'm going to show you is I've got some reindeer with candy striped legs, and they have Christmas trees that are lit that are on their hind ends, and they're just adorable, so stinking cute, and they have big floppy ears. So I'll show you that one next, how to do those, and I'll include links below for any of the specific items like the teeny tiny hole punch and where to get the springs and some good sources for supplies. And thanks for clicking on my links and using them. If it's an Amazon link, they might reward me with a couple pennies on the dollar. It doesn't increase your cost, but it's just a way to support my channel and to support all this free content and free tutorials that I'm bringing to you. So please subscribe, and that way you'll get to see the next tutorial when it comes out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.